One time many years ago, a church member suggested that I should do something with the Psalms, that I should either teach a class or I should preach through them or something, because they hadn't heard much done with the Psalms and thought it might be interesting. I thought it might be interesting too, so I tried, and it was a disaster. You see, the Psalms are poetry, and poetry doesn't lend itself well to logical outlines and step-by-step kind of things. Poetry doesn't deal in those things very well. Poetry deals in feelings and emotions and experiences. And so the Psalms are great if you want to just go read them and reflect on them and try and relate to them. That's the benefit of the Psalms. We get our own feelings reflected to us in those. They're just hard to teach. However, that's not always true. In fact, this week, I came across Psalm 40. And Psalm 40 has an interesting, valuable, necessary lesson to teach us. It's still poetry. David is dealing with trouble in his life, and he expresses his feelings about his trouble, and he expresses what's going on and how confused he is and all sorts of things. It's a normal psalm in that way. But David also gives us a lesson about how to deal with trouble in this psalm. David gives us a lesson about what to do when you don't know what to do. And this psalm not only teaches really well, but I think it's a psalm that you might look at after this Sunday. You might write this on your wall. You might put it in your pocket somewhere. You might store it in your Bible just so you can read it again and again, because it has incredibly useful and powerful instruction for us. The sermon is called From Trouble to Trust, Discovering the Pattern of Deepening Faith. Part of the premise this week is going to be that trouble, while it's bad and nobody wants trouble, can actually be used for our good. In fact, the only way we grow is through struggles and trouble. But that only happens if we go through those struggles and those troubles in a certain way. That's what David's going to share. That's what we're going to talk about. And that is going to be the good part of our lesson. Once again, I think it's a lesson that you could bring anyone to. If you have a friend and you've been thinking, I should invite that person to church, they'll get a lot out of this lesson. It's very clear, very easy, very applicable, and very gospel-centered. From trouble to trust. I've been away for about 10 days on a motorcycle trip with my brother. We had a great time. Sarah's been away. We're home for this week, and then we're away again for a while later on. But we're home this week, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. See you Sunday morning.